An armored warrior stands over two massive defeated opponents and lets out a roar. A nearby witch comments that their attacks had no effect on him. Her companion lies defeated on the ground. She admits that the armored knight is simply too powerful for them. The knight looks up at a group of new arrivals, commenting that they don't know when to quit. One of the newcomers informs the defeated adventurers that the man they fought is the weakest of the four heavenly kings. This revelation stuns both the adventurers and the armored knight. One of the adventurers shouts in disbelief, asking her to repeat what she said. The scene shifts to the inside of the Demon King's castle. Inside, the armored knight, Dark Knight Ralph, removes his helmet and tells his companions to stop crying. A horned girl, Magic King Freya, says she can't calm down after seeing such frightening people with pointy weapons, calling them murderers. Another member, Demonic Beast Emperor Lilia, hugs a lion and laments that people should just live with love and compassion. The third woman, Frozen Witch Lucia, complains about the troublesome adventurers, wondering why they returned after their last defeat. Ralph yells that they are the troublesome ones, pointing to his three crying companions. Ralph explains that despite their titles as the four heavenly kings, the other three are actually quite weak. His job is to act as the lowest-ranked king and fight off all challengers so that his supposedly stronger superiors never have to. Ralph suggests the other three heavenly kings should try fighting for once. The other three scream at him, calling him a demon and asking if he's trying to get them killed. He realizes he can't get through to them. He thinks the burden is too much and calls the four heavenly kings a one-man operation. He decides to train them, believing they have the potential to become genuine members of the four heavenly kings. Later, he stands outside a door and hears crying. His plan did not go over well. He decides to postpone his efforts and try again tomorrow. The next day, Ralph enters Freya's room as she's waking up. She asks why he's there so early, and he tells her it's already noon. He replies that it's fine as long as she slept well. While eating snacks in bed, Freya asks if he's there to continue their game. He wonders about her choice of a wake-up snack. He tries to figure out how to bring up training, knowing that demanding she fight will fail again. Freya exclaims that she just remembered something. She tells him her new work is finished and runs off to show him. She reveals her work, a large, abstract art piece resembling a strange puzzle. She calls it a piece exploding with creative passion, and he can only stammer that it's amazing. Ralph asks Freya if painting is her new hobby, noting her previous interests were novels and pianos. Freya claims it's because she's talented at everything. Ralph offers a flat reply. He then gets an idea. He grabs Freya, agreeing with her and saying she can do anything she wants. He continues, telling her that because she's so talented, she has nothing to fear and can do anything she puts her mind to. He then suggests they do some special training, so she can learn to fight on her own. He immediately realizes he's said the wrong thing. Freya tells him she doesn't want to. He comments on her expression. She begins screaming that she doesn't want to. She collapses on the floor, still yelling as Ralph watches. He wonders aloud if this is really a heavenly king, adding that he's the one feeling embarrassed. He suggests that if she hates fighting, she should give her position as a heavenly king to someone else. Freya gets up and says she doesn't want to do that either. He asks why, pointing out she could live a peaceful life without the title. She explains she couldn't live her luxurious lifestyle otherwise. Her reason leaves Ralph speechless. Ralph is stunned by her reason, but Freya confirms it's the truth. She explains that to live a peaceful life, one needs money. He yells back that he's the one protecting that peace. A text box notes that his persuasion attempt has failed. Walking down a hallway, Ralph sighs, thinking he knew it would be difficult to get his comrades to train. He continues on, admitting to himself that he didn't think it would be this hard. He refocuses, deciding that Lucia is his next target. He knocks on a door and calls for Lucia. A voice from inside tells him to come in. Ralph enters the room and apologizes for intruding. Lucia welcomes him, saying he came at a good time. She offers to make tea and invites him to sit. He thanks her and takes a seat, thinking about the tea he's about to be served. She returns with a large bowl of shaved ice, presenting it as his tea. Ralph thinks to himself, I knew it. He points out that it's just shaved ice with matcha syrup. A caption notes that Lucia loves shaved ice. Ralph changes the subject, telling Lucia he has something to discuss. He begins to explain, starting with, "The truth is," he's interrupted by Lucia eating the shaved ice. He asks her to stop, pointing out that it's his portion and he has something important to say. Ralph sits across from Lucia, trying to persuade her. He tells her he really wants her to participate in combat training. Lucia yells that she doesn't want to, adding that she saw someone make the exact same face earlier. He points out the danger if he's the only one fighting, but she retorts that if he dies, peace would be shattered anyway. She tells him not to worry because he's strong, then demands he have more confidence. Ralph stares at her as she trembles in her chair. He tells himself to calm down, thinking that if he pushes too hard, she might do that. He apologizes for raising his voice and says there's something important he needs to tell her. As she listens, he explains that the world is a wide place. He continues, saying there are plenty of people stronger than him and it's just a coincidence they haven't appeared yet. He adds that he can't bear to think what would happen to the three of them if those stronger people ever showed up. He thinks to himself that his strategy is to appeal directly to her conscience. Lucia begins to tremble in her chair. Ralph asks if she's trying to freeze up and faint. Both of them look completely exhausted. A text box explains Lucia's ability. She freezes herself solid to avoid confrontation. As she turns to ice, Ralph screams her name. Defeated, Ralph slumps over. He moves on to another door, hoping Lilia can help him. Ralph calls out to Lilia, asking if she has a moment. A voice from inside replies that she's opening the door. The door opens. A massive lion roars in his face. Lilia appears beside the lion and welcomes Ralph, calling him Raccoon. He apologizes for the sudden visit, but she tells him he came at the perfect time. A caption introduces the beast as demonic beast Liger Pudding, named by Lilia. She holds up a muffler she just finished knitting for him and offers to put it on. As she wraps the muffler around his neck, he thanks her and comments that she must really like knitting. Lilia says she's making one for everyone, hoping it will help them all get along. Ralph thinks that Lilia's consideration is already at a 4 Heavenly Kings level. Still, he thinks that while he feels bad for trampling on her kindness, he has to proceed. Pudding the lion asks why he's here, and Ralph says he has something to discuss. Ralph tells Lilia his body has been feeling off lately, and he hasn't been able to sleep. She looks shocked. Ralph says he's not worried about himself, but about what would happen to the others if he were gone. Lilia asks how she can help, and Ralph tells her to start training so he won't have to worry. He adds that all he needs is a little more time to rest. The demonic beast, Pudding, roars that it's impossible, and asks why Ralph should be the one to get a break. Ralph tells the beast it should be fighting for its master, but Lilia interjects that Pudding is too kind-hearted. Ralph then asks Lilia if she would fight for Pudding and her friends. Lilia immediately replies that it's impossible. He clarifies that he's not asking for a difficult trial, just for her to do what she can at her own pace. Lilia seems to have a realization. She tells Ralph she understands now, and he asks if she really gets it. Lilia announces that she will make a pillow for him. Ralph is left speechless by her response. Lilia explains that he must not be able to sleep because his bedding is bad, and offers to make him a sweater to keep him warm. She declares that she's going to be very busy from now on, as Pudding roars in agreement. Ralph stands there, completely defeated. Ralph yells that he doesn't want Lilia to only help by knitting. He collapses onto the ground, and Lilia calls out to Raccoon, telling him to get a hold of himself. On the floor, Ralph thinks that if his plan for the others doesn't work, his own dream will never come true. Lilia cries out his nickname, Raccoon,